today we average over $50,000 a month in passive income through about 10 different strategies and businesses that we use. And we just report on that, and we help people to figure out,
Would you like to win and achieve success at what you do? Welcome to the Winner's Ways podcast, where we create winners every day. And now, your host, the author of Winner's Ways book and life coach, Bola Alabi.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Winner's Ways podcast. This is where we talk about your career, your money, and we give you life motivation to help you to live your life to the fullest. I'm super happy and excited, of course, to have a guest with us today. He's an awesome guest, and from my initial conversation with him, I know you guys will learn a lot, and you are going to find a lot of insights from listening to my guest today. And my guest is Joey Mure. He's a founder and partner at Wealth Without Wall Street, and he brings a lot of impact, integrity, and generosity to human lives. So we are going to be listening to Joey, and as he shares his experience about building wealth. So I'm excited about that. Hey, Joey, welcome to the show.
Man, thank you so much. I'm grateful to be here.
So I know I did a little bit of intro. There's no way I can do it as well as you are. So can you please go ahead and introduce yourself to my audience?
Absolutely. So I live actually in Birmingham, Alabama, just if you want to kind of location wise think of where I'm coming from. But I grew up all in the Southeast, and I started my career in the mortgage business and did that for 11 years. And I had a lot of success there. I started making over $300,000 a year in my late 20s. And I thought, man, this is success, right?
Yeah.
A high income equals success in my brain. And the more, though, that income raised, the more I realized that my time was getting just drained, right? I had a growing family at the time, and my time was getting taken away from the people that I love the most and wanted to spend time with. I remember specifically going on vacations and telling my wife, hey, why don't you take the girls down to the beach? I'll be right behind you, right? Just I have to take this one more call. And 2 hours later, I would get my stuff on, go down to the beach. And as I'm going down there, they're walking past me with a picture of disappointment on their face that they missed time with me on the beach when this is what I was working for, right? To be able to provide for them and to have this special time. And yet I couldn't be present with them on those times. And I knew that could not continue, right? That cannot be success. And I realized that there's a different way. When I read a book in 2009, and it changed my whole trajectory of thinking. My now business partner, Russ Morgan, shared that book with me, and I started implementing things from the book. 4 years later, I looked up and I told Russ, I said, man, more people need to know this. Like this, what this has done for me and my family has changed my whole trajectory of life. And this is important. Like people need to know, but very few people do. And I said, I think God's telling me I need to do this full time. And he looked at me kind of funny, like, you want to do this full time? Like, because he knew I was giving up a lot of a career. Like, you don't build that kind of income and then just walk away from it to start something from scratch. And, but I knew that there would be an impact that I could have on people's lives that would be greater than what I was doing in the mortgage business. And so in 2014, I left that career and started doing this full time, teaching people the 3 steps that I took to gain what I am now enjoying as financial independence, the freedom to spend my time with those that I want to spend and impacting the people and lives that I want to impact.
Awesome, Joey. Thanks for that information. You mentioned something about trading time for money. And I think many of the high-paying individuals, they will find themselves in exactly the same trap. Yes, you are making a lot of money on one hand, and your family that you really want to spend time with, you are not always there for them. So when you say, and I went on your website, Wealth Without Wall Street, one of the page says, stop trading time for money. So can you break it down for me? Because I also work and I spend my time working and I make money as a result. How can we stop trading our time for money? What do you mean by that?
Well, so it really goes back to the whole philosophy of life. I was in this trap of thinking a higher income was true success or true freedom. And what I realized is that, just as you mentioned, my hourly rate was going up. When I was getting paid more, and it was more commission based. So I was earning more based on higher sales or whatever you want to call it. But I was just trading my time at a higher value than maybe I did when I was in my, high school years or college years when I would work part-time. The real freedom comes, and it can only come when my passive income was greater than my monthly expenses. Because think about it for a second. If I have other income streams producing cash flows to me every single month without me having to be present, that immediately tells me, and those dollars cover all of my monthly expenses. I am 100% free to spend my time with who I want, when I want, doing what I want. And that's a simple formula, but the actual process to get there is difficult, right? You have to put in the work. You have to know who you are as an investor. You have to know what financial freedom looks like for you and have that goal very clearly laid out for you. And then you have to start educating yourself on the types of passive income streams that are available that match up with you and start implementing. But man, if you get enough pain in your life, if you get enough of those disappointments from your family, that you have to work, right? I remember sitting there driving my daughter to school one day. I have 5 daughters, by the way. Oh. And this is a huge calling on my life. Like, to be the best dad for them is one of the biggest whys that I will ever have. But I was driving my daughter. She was probably 2 or 3 at the time. And it was rare because I was never able to take her to school because I was always working. Mm-hmm. But this one time I was driving her, she's in her little car seat in the back seat. And she says, "Dad, you going to pick me up from school today?" And I was kind of like, she knows better than that. Like, I'm not going to, no, I can't pick you up from school. Mm-hmm. I said, "No, your mom's going to pick you up." She says, "Why are you not going to pick me up?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, because I got to work. I have to work." She's like, "Why you have to work?" And I said, "Well, I have to pay for this car. I mean, I have to pay for our house. I have to pay for food, like, those things." She says, "We already have a house. We already have a car." Right. And it was so simple. Like, I'm kind of like making light of it, but what it was for me, it really got to me that I told my daughter, I have to go to work. But that is where the anchor was laid in my heart, that I was like, I don't ever want to tell my daughter again that I have to go to work apart from her, right? If she wants me to go and spend time with her, because this is like, these moments are never going to be here again. They pass you the very next minute. And I started to think, like, what is it going to be for me to be able to answer her differently the next time? And I immediately came and I told Russ, I said, we got to build passive income. We got to do it quick. Like, I'm not going to have that conversation again. And so anyways, that's what motivated me to take action. And I don't know what it is for you, right? As you're listening to this, maybe it's just your workplace is stressing you out and your health is starting to fail. Maybe it's something related to your family, or you have a parent that's in bad health and you can't be there for them because you have to go to work. I don't know what it is, but if you're feeling some sort of a pain, struggle, and it's tied to you having to go to work, this is the process that we're taking people through to help them get to that point where they can be free and use their time how they want.
Wow, fantastic. When you mentioned, when you narrated the story, talking with your daughter and how she wanted you to be there for her, that resonated well with me because since last year, I've been opportune to, every morning drop my daughter off at her school, and she always enjoys it's just like a 5-10 minutes drive, but she always look forward to those time with me. And now for me, it has now become like a ritual that I always just want to drop her off. And, that's a time we just spend together, connect together. She tells me a lot of different things, and I know how important that has become to me. So I totally get it. You mentioned something about financial freedom formula, which I think is very simple. Passive income has to be greater than monthly expenses. That's simple. I had my own financial equation as well. I call it money equation. And it's also simple. What you earn must be greater than what you spend. If you can consistently do that, a time will come when, of course, you have more money. So let's talk about passive income. Many people may not know how to start building their passive income portfolio. And there are numbers of ideas out there. If you don't mind, Joey, can you maybe talk about one or two passive income ideas so that people can know, hey, so I can actually earn money passively without, committing my time or adding more effort?
Absolutely. So I would tell you this, the danger of talking about investments is that people immediately think, oh, well, I heard somebody say that they did short-term rentals, and I guess I'm supposed to do that too because they were successful at it. And they go and they try it and they fall on their face, right? They fail miserably. And they wonder, well, that's not good. Like, I thought this was a shoo-in. Like, somebody said they were having success. Well, they go and try the next thing. They hear somebody else say, well, man, I'm really into cryptocurrency, and that's where I gain some passive income, and you should do the same thing. And they go and they try it and they fail miserably. And they're like, okay, well, this must be a lie. Like, this person must have been lying. But the rub for us is that the investor is far more important than the investment. I'm going to say that again, because most people are all about, what do you invest in? Like, tell me what you invest in, because that's what I want to do. But the issue is you are far more important than the investments that you choose, because they should always align with the things that God has made you a specific way, right? You see the world in a unique way, perspective that nobody else sees the same way you do. They don't have the same strengths you do. They don't have the same weaknesses that you do. And they don't have the same resources that you do. And so in our 3-step process, we take people through first getting your goal, right? Getting a vision of what your financial freedom will look like. That's the G in the GPS system that we have. The P is the plan. And you don't start a plan without knowing who you are. So you got your goal, you start the plan, you do the investor DNA assessment that we teach. And that literally takes your personality profile and it helps you to see, literally we have, I think, 6 or 7 different options in a passive income matrix that you match up to who you are as an investor. And we cover everything from short-term rentals to turnkey, like rental properties, like single family homes and things like that, to syndications where you buy into apartment complexes or ATM funds or anything like that that would be a syndication, to e-commerce businesses, like how to create a passive business on e-commerce or private lending. Like those are all easy things to do if they line up with you. And so that's all a part of our process we take people through. But it's something that most people never consider is who they are. They just always think it's the investment.
Oh, okay. No, that's very, very good, Joey. So investor is more important than the investment. And I totally agree with you. So you were explaining the 3-step plan. You talked about goal, you talked about plan, and I think the S is support.
100%.
When we say support, what kind of support do you offer people that, I think people are going to download an app, and with that app, they will be able to connect with Wealth Without Wall Street. What kind of support do you guys offer? Is it financial training? Is it webinar? Can you tell us?
Right. Yeah. So support is so important because of the very simple nature of the people you surround yourself with, you will become the sum of those people. It's just a known fact. Not to mention the fact that you've already been there. You're at your job. You're at the coffee. You're sitting there talking about the weekend with your coworkers, and you start thinking this way, and you start getting really passionate about the idea to be independent and financially free. And the other people around you start throwing out things that they've never heard of, right? The investor DNA, short-term rentals, turnkey properties. And you start that. What do? Did they say, oh man, that's awesome. You're going to do great. You should keep doing it. No. What do? They say, well, are you sure that that's how that works? Like, what makes you think that it's going to be successful? Like, how isn't that expensive to buy a rental property or to invest in land flipping? Like, I don't know about this. Have you checked this person out? Like, those are the doubts that people around you who are not on the same path as you will put those seeds in your brain, and it will not be pushing you towards financial freedom. It's always pulling you back. And so we created a community that is the support engine for getting people to financial freedom. You're surrounded by over 5,000 people who have said, this is important to me, and they're hungry and they want to encourage others on the same path. So that's where we have, you can actually get access to it. If it's okay, I can share that with people.
Absolutely. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/passport. When you go there, you're going to join the community for free. You can download the app for free, and you can additionally get access to the very first step is the Passport Challenge, that goal, creating a goal. It helps you to dream about what financial freedom would be like for you. Like, who do you want to be? What do you want to do or stop doing? And what will you have when you're financially free? And you literally put a visual out there that will drive you every single day once you've completed that course. It's totally free, and we'd love for you to join us there. Plus, that's the best way to connect with me because I don't really pay attention on a bunch of social media stuff. We're always in the app, so you can DM me there. And I love to just know that you're on the path with us.
Awesome. So, and there is no better way to learn than being in a community of people that are also learning and trying to figure out the same thing. So you have over 5,000 people that you are going to be learning along. So go to wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/passport to connect with Joey. So let's talk about financial education, because I think many people around us today, they do not have the needed financial education. As a matter of fact, I was just reading the news I think on CNBC, that Florida became the largest state, maybe the first, to mandate personal finance education in high school. Joey, why do you think financial education is important in this day and time?
Oh, man, I tell you what, I don't think there's anything more important than understanding what we're talking about right now here today. And the percentage of people that understand what we are just talking about today is so small, because the system that we grow up in this country, in the world for that matter, is to keep our head down and to be an industrialized world where all we just do is just work. And we hope for a day when we can be free, that they call retirement. But it is a lie, my friend. Like, this is the life that you've been given. You're not guaranteed to even have your health or your life at the time of quote unquote retirement. So what we have been told is to defer all of the things that we've been talking about, time with loved ones, right? Impacting other people and those type of things, and just work, right? Just give up 40 to 50 to however many hours a week to someone else's business and focus in on just doing good work. And the problem is life is passing us by, and we have no better freedom today than we will when we were in retirement. I remember I was at the beach I keep talking about the beach. I love going to the beach, but we were at the beach a few years ago, and my wife and I and all of our daughters have these Wealth Without Wall Street, swim shirts. And so we're sitting on the beach, and it looks like an advertisement, right? Which it is. And this older lady comes walking up to us, and she's like, "Tell me about your shirts." And so I was telling her about what we do and so on. She's like, "We just retired recently. And, I'll tell you, we worked for a long time, 40 plus years." And she said, "I just hope it's enough." And I said, "What are you talking about? What do you mean?" She said, "Well, I put money away. I've done all the things I thought I was supposed to do. And I hope it's enough. I hope it doesn't run out." Mm. And you know what? I knew this to be true, but to hear her say it was, the lie is that is the answer to everything, is that retirement is the pinnacle. But if you think about, I've been putting money away for all these years and I hope it doesn't run out, you've been living a life of scarcity, and you'll continue to live a life of scarcity even in retirement. Because do you think for a minute that she's going to all of a sudden start spending money and traveling and enjoying life to the fullest at that stage? No. Not a chance, because she's worried that it's going to run out. So she's going to probably live even well below the means that she did when she was working. Yeah. And is that really freedom? And the answer is no. And so you have to take control and create that freedom today using, again, financial literacy is being smart about where your money is flowing and putting it into your control and into things that are tangible ways that create cash flows, rather than constantly trading your time for money and hoping one day you get free from that. It's just not going to work.
Wow. You know what? That is so deep, because I also do think about, I hope it's going to be enough, from time to time. Yes, I started my career about 20 years ago, and I've been, saving money. My wife, she always encouraged me that, hey, as we are planning for the future, you also have to, take care of the current, the moment. And that's one thing that we are doing, is how to constantly generate cash flow and, build other side income so that at least multiple income will keep coming in. But I know that in this country, especially for people that, that put their money maybe in the stock markets, there are some to some extent, you do not have control over, whatever government policy may come up. And look at 2020, at the start of the COVID pandemic, the whole stock market crashed. And I know there will be people that are maybe almost at their retirement then. They are going to be wondering, I hope it's going to be enough. And that is something that maybe everyone needs to think about from time to time and find a way. Of course, the solution is find a way to create diverse source of income, multiple stream of income, cash flow that will keep coming in. There are definitely things that are going to be outside our control, but of course, those things that we can control, we should try our best to make sure we are controlling them. So, Joey, thank you very much for sharing that with us. As we are rounding up, I want to ask you, why are you passionate about, helping people to build wealth? Why do you talk about financial freedom? Why is it important to you?
Well, I'll tell you, the preface of our book that's coming out is where I wrote this down, and I believe it wholeheartedly, that people were designed and created for more than they are doing today, right? I don't believe that we are reaching our full potential that God created us to be. And He has given us resources, whether it's our strengths, our weaknesses, and all the other resources, time being one of the most important, that if we are going to be stewards of those things and we maximize those things, He talks about there's an abundant life, right? I don't believe people are experiencing an abundant life. I believe most people are experiencing a put up with life. I'm just going to put up with this for right now because I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do or what I have to do. And what I'm calling people to do is what I was given the light to understand this over 10 years ago. And I am passionate about telling people that there is another way, that you can be free with your time and to make an impact on this world, right? You're never going to get another chance at this. And so to me, it's my calling to help people out of what I would consider financial bondage to become free, because then and only then do I believe that you will be able to give to the world and essentially reflect God to the rest of this world at the highest level. And so anyways, He's the one that owns all these things. He's given it to us to steward well. And I just want to help people on that path.
Absolutely. So I myself, I'm also learning. I've been a student learning about how to handle money the God's way. You talk about being a good steward of money. And you said something that I think it's very important. God created us to live life to the fullest. And all of us, we can be more, we can accomplish more, we can achieve more. We only have to have that interest in our mind. So, as I was reading and preparing for this interview, I saw that maybe one of your favorite book in the Bible, it's in Proverbs that you want to live by. And that's Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. That's trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In my church this month, we've been reading about the book of Proverbs. Each day we pick one chapter. So today is 25th. I just read chapter 25 of Proverbs. So let's talk about trust, putting our trust in God, because that's what Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 says. How does that work? Because there are people, they may not know how to really connect with God. I was born a Christian. I've been living my life as a Christian. And, every day we try to develop our faith in God. But there are people out there, they may find it strange that, hey, what do you mean? How can I put my trust in God? So how does that look like for you, Joey?
Well, here, the alternative is that you put your trust in yourself. That's the alternative. And I always tell people that there's really only one throne in your heart. There's only one throne. And either you are on the throne of your life, trying to make this world and this life all about you and about what you can do and what you can obtain, and you're the king of your life. Or you can put God as the king on the throne. And you say, God, what do you want me to do? Like, I want to follow you because I know that when I try to sit on the throne, I foul things up, right? If I'm the one that I'm always trying to serve myself and I want to serve, my own desires, that things do not go well, because this world was never designed to bring you and I glory individually. We're designed to bring glory to our Creator. And so what trusting in God is to say, God, I have fouled this up, and I believe that you and following you is the best way to live this life, because you've designed it that way. And I want to now follow you. And so how does it practically work? Practically, when you put your trust in God, it means that He's going to direct you, and you're looking to Him to say, what is my next step? What is the next thing that you want me to do? Even if it's not 100% clear. And I'll tell you, in 2014, when I had learned all these things and I had gained this kind of the success in my career, and He said, Joey, you need to be teaching people this stuff full time. You need to quit your job and you need to go follow this. I didn't know if it was going to work. To be honest with you, I didn't know if people were going to resonate with it the same way it had kind of impacted me. But the only thing I did know is that He was calling me to do it, and I needed to be obedient and follow Him. And to be honest, it doesn't always work out like this, because He has His own ways. But man, to look back now and to see the thousands of people God has allowed me to have the conversations like this with, and to impact them with this knowledge of how to become financially free, it's vastly more than I ever would have had if I stayed in my old career. And that to me is how you live the abundant life as well, is by following Christ. I know that I'm going to live at the fullest. Anyways, that's how I would sum up as far as trusting the Lord. Is it's literally like you're walking in a dark room and all you can see is the light in front of the next step. And when you look back and you can see the light has been shined on all of where you've been, you realize, man, God had a master plan, and I just needed to trust Him, because it's amazing what He's done just by walking right behind every step He tells me to do.
That is good. I like that. It's very, very important to just find a way to connect with God. And I like that you are adding that perspective to Wealth Without Wall Street. By the way, why without Wall Street?
Well, I mean, I'll tell you this. I don't believe in retirement, because we're never to be taken out of service. That's what the word retirement means. And secondly, Wall Street is the master of saying, give me your money, let me manage it for you, because you're not smart enough. You can't do it. You can't create freedom on your own. I can help you grow your money because I'm smarter than you, or whatever it may be. And it's just a lie. It's a great marketing ploy. If you think about it, someone else is encouraging you to give them your money, and the most that you could possibly give them, they hold on to it for as long as possible, and they give it back to you with you taking all the risk in the meantime. And guess what? They make profit off of it, whether you make a profit or not. That is a lie. And you need to break yourself free from Wall Street, because your future and your freedom is way more important than just like default leaving that to somebody else to do. You were never intended to do that. So that's why we say no Wall Street.
Thank you, Joey. So as we are coming to the end, what parting message do you have for my audience, and how can they connect with you?
Oh, man, I'll tell you, the biggest thing I would say is what is your why for wanting financial freedom? Like, if you don't have a moment where you have told somebody, I have to go to work, and it just bothered you. If you haven't had that, you shouldn't take any steps, because you're not going to take it seriously. But if you've had that kind of gut level feeling that this is not right, like what I am doing, I'm not living the life that is abundant that Joey is talking about today, then you need to take that step, right? That is the call, essentially, to do something different. You can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. It's just not going to happen. Mm-hmm. So the best thing I would say, just join us in the community, wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/passport. Again, hit me up in the DM and let me know that you heard me on the show. And I'd love to connect with you there. That's the best way.
Thank you. We have come to the end of the show. I hope you guys found this very, very useful. I have learned a lot from speaking with Joey today. And I'm going to check out the website, wealthwithoutwallstreet.com/passports. I'll see my financial status on the dashboard. So I'm looking forward to connect with you, Joey. Thank you for your time.
Oh, my privilege, man. Thank you.
This episode of Winner's Ways podcast has come to a close. We hope you enjoy and learn something from today's show. We want you to win and excel in all areas of your life, and we regularly explore and share information with our listeners to empower them to win. Be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more tips and strategies to help you find the success that you've always dreamt of. And don't forget to rate and review so that we can continue to bring you more podcast episodes to empower you. We will love to have you again next week. Now, keep winning.